All right, it is October 1st. The time is 5:30 PM. I'll call to order the city council regular meeting. Can I have? Do I do it over? Okay, take two. The day is October 1st, 2024. The time is 5:31 PM. This is the city council regular meeting. Can I have a roll call?
Thank you, Mayor. Councillor Bosmans,
Present.
Councillor Youssef.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Yazi,
Here.
Mayor Buell,
Here.
and Councillor Woodruff.
Here.
Great. Item 1.1, reading of the Indigenous Land Acknowledgement. This is a call to honor and respect Indigenous sovereignty and self-determination. As residents and visitors of Durango, we are called upon to educate ourselves about the history and cultural heritage of the land we inhabit. The city of Durango is situated on the ancestral homelands and territories of the Nuchu, Ute, Jicarilla, Apache, Pueblos of New Mexico, Hopi, Sinom, Hopi, and Dene, Navajo nations. The original stewards of this land were forcibly removed and exposed to countless atrocities by the United States government, including repeatedly broken treaties, forced assimilation, the tragic legacy of Indian boarding schools, and the loss of ancestral homelands. We recognize lasting generational trauma exists within Native communities today. We affirm the continuing importance of ancestral sites to descendant communities as integral to the living cultural landscape. This acknowledgement only becomes meaningful when combined with accountable relationships and informed actions. May this serve as a step towards inclusion and reconciliation. All right, item 2, the introduction of the translator. Is the translator online?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I hope you can hear my audio okay. Diego Pons here with my colleague Sam Guzman here with the CLC. We're going to start the interpretation here in a moment. As always, the interpretation will be providing a simultaneous here on Zoom. Once we finish giving the instructions, you'll see that globe icon that'll appear on your computer screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Please select it and please choose your preferred language. And if you're joining the meeting on your cell phone or tablet, please look for the More button or the 3 dots button to select your preferred language this other way. As always, if you're not fully bilingual, we encourage you on Zoom to select your preferred language so you can use the interpretation if anyone were to speak in the opposite language channel. As always, thank you so much. Let us know if you have any questions. Buenas tardes a todos y a todas. Yo soy Diego Pons. Estoy aquí con mi colega Sam Guzmán de parte del grupo del CLC. Vamos a continuar hoy utilizando la interpretación simultánea aquí en Zoom en inglés y en español. Cuando yo termine de dar esas instrucciones, vamos a activar la interpretación. En ese momento va a aparecer el icono del globo de la Tierra que va a decir interpretación ahí abajo en la derecha de su pantalla. Por favor, asegúrese de elegir ese icono del globo de la Tierra y por favor seleccione su idioma preferido. Y si hoy usted está asistiendo a la reunión en su celular o en su tableta, por favor busque la opción que dice More, que quiere decir más, o tal vez el botón de 3 puntos, lo cual le permitirá a usted elegir su idioma preferido de esta otra manera. Como siempre, si usted no es completamente bilingüe, le vamos a aconsejar que elija su idioma preferido para que pueda utilizar la interpretación cuando alguien está hablando en el otro idioma. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Item 3, opening remarks by mayor and council. Does anyone have any opening remarks today? No? All right. Item 4, presentations and proclamations. We have 4.1, Business Improvement District budget presentation. Tim Walsworth. Yep. And just hit the button so it turns green on the microphone. There you go.
Check, check. City Council, city staff, thanks for having me here. I'm Tim Walsworth. I run the Durango Business Improvement District. By state statute, bids are required to submit their budget for the coming year and their work plan to their local municipalities. So that's what I'm here for today. I only have about 10 minutes, so I'm just going to hit some high points and we'll have a little time for questions at the end. In your packet, there's history of bid. There's a recap of our work to date in 2024. And what I'd like to get to, though, is the last part of the packet that talks about our 2025 budget. So quickly, what I'll compare to is our projected year-end numbers for this year. So when I do the increases or decreases, that's what I'm comparing to. Our revenue is set in 2025 at 345,000. That's a small 1% increase over projected year-end 2024. There's some bullet points under, or some line items underneath that that make up that amount, but it's essentially the same as where we think we'll end in 2024. On the expense side, total expenses, 344,940. That's a 4% increase over where we think we'll end in 2024. We break our expenses down into 5 categories. Personnel and related is slated for a small 4% increase. Our admin and operations, a 5% increase. Our events expenses, the same as where we'll end in 2024. Our marketing and communication expenses are a 6% increase. And then our final category, visitor information and beautification, a 3% increase. And then this works out to essentially a zero-based budget. That's how it should be. We always do break-even budgets. We do have reserves at the bid. It's important for me to note this to you guys. We're not budgeting to contribute any funds in 2025 to it, but we do keep 45,000 in reserves as 3 months operating expenses. And then we have a separate fund we just call special projects. It's got a little bit over 51,000 in it, and that allows us to, when something comes up during the year that's not in the budget and we need to put cash to it, we can dip into those funds and do it as long as it aligns with our mission and our work. And in total, it's just under 100K that we have set aside for reserves. So what does that 2025 budget allow us to accomplish? I want to run over some of the programs and services that we'll offer to businesses that are in downtown and in the North Main District. Under the category of marketing, we'll operate 2 of our rewards programs. Some of you are familiar with those, where we reward and incentivize people for shopping local in the spring and at the holidays. That ought to produce around 300,000 in local spending. We'll do a specific promotion in a very similar nature to those rewards programs for our North Main businesses as well. We're introducing late this year, and we'll really roll it out next year, a new community gift card that we're calling Heart of Durango Dollars. So who remembers the old Chamber Durango Dollars program? So that's what we're doing, and we've just figured out a way to bring that back. And so that'll get rolled out to the community soon, and there'll be one gift card you can get that's good at multiple businesses in the heart of Durango. So we're excited about that. We promote events. Those are good hooks to get people to come to downtown and North Main. We'll update our map and directories, our business directory. We've got big signs in downtown and brochures, printed versions. We do maintain our website, our social media, and we'll do a couple of little event sponsorships as well. Under communications, second category of our expenses, we publish a weekly communication via email. Send it out to about 1,800 subscribers every Wednesday morning. Accurate, brief, timely info. It's primarily meant for the business owner who needs to know what's coming, but right in the sweet spot of timing, not too far in advance and not too late either. We'll do 10 coffee and conversation meetings where we gather business owners and really anybody who wants to come and learn about downtown and North Main activities. And we'll we'll have regular communication with about 550 contacts at bid businesses. Under events, we'll do 4 events in 2025. We'll do the San Juan Brewfest event. We'll do the Downtown Balloon Glow in mid-October. We'll do our annual Children's Halloween event on the day of Halloween. And we'll do our Singing with Santa event, which is always the day after Thanksgiving. Last couple of things. Under the category of visitor information, the primary programs we'll operate there. Number 1 is our ambassador program. We've had that for 7-8 seasons now. And these ambassadors, about 10 of them we hire. They're part-time seasonal employees. They walk around downtown and help people with whatever they need. Maybe they need a little assistance on their parking meter. Maybe they're looking for a restaurant referral. Maybe they're looking for a special item they want to take home, to their family. So they're out there in the summer months. They'll work at least 1,000 hours, and they'll create at least 10,000 positive interactions with people visiting downtown, primarily tourists, but locals as well. We'll also continue our partnership in the Durango Welcome Center. It's an important facility in downtown. Hundreds of people go through that facility on a daily basis. We'll update our business directory and our map, like I mentioned. We'll partner with the city on the flower barrels in the summer months and our beautification programs. Thank you guys for that. The flowers were amazing this year. And we'll partner with the chamber on the Downtown Clean Day event. And the last thing I'll mention is just a new program that we piloted in 2024. We called it our Durango 101 program. And it was a kind of a concierge training program where we took employees in customer facing positions. So they're at the front desk at the retail shop. Maybe they're in a concierge position at a hotel. Maybe they're a server at a restaurant where they're having a lot of interaction with customers, people visiting, and locals. And we ran them through a training program where we help them answer the commonly asked questions so that everyone's on the same page. And we got great reviews on that. And so we plan to formalize that and make that part of our work in 2025. And we'll take 30 people through those trainings. And so high level, that's what we're doing in 2025. Questions, comments?
Thank you. Questions?
No question. Just want to say thanks for all the work that you do, Tim. I appreciate all the work that the bid does and really keeping the economic engine alive downtown. So thanks for always being such a great advocate for downtown and North Main businesses.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, as a business owner that's been North Main and downtown, I appreciate, the constant communication, emails, texts, advocacy, getting us all involved. So it's appreciated. Thank you very much. All right.
Okay. Thank you,
Great.
guys.
Thank you. Moving along, item 5, city manager updates.
No updates tonight.
Great. Item 6, committee, board, and liaison reports. Anyone want to start? Dave loves to start.
I
Let's
love
do it.
starting. Councilor Yazzie and I this morning had Community Development Commission interviews. And so we had 2 great interviews with 2 incredibly experienced and viable candidates. We'll go into our recommended appointment here in a little bit, but it was good to see those 2 community members want to be a part of the CDC. I also was able to attend the Economic Development Alliance Summit on the 19th of September. So once again, it was incredible. Great perspectives on people, place, and purpose, which was the theme this year. I attended the Dark Sky breakout as well as the data deep dive for La Plata County. So a lot of great information there. A lot of good takeaways. And then lastly, I went to the Wildfire and Watershed Protection Fund on the 18th, the day before that. We discussed wildfire mitigation for the county and different entities that's making it happen. DFPD is leading the charge on the mitigation, but we also looked at non-traditional approaches like the usage of Durango goats for wildfire mitigation and management. So that was really cool to see that in action. Owen Tollage, who gave the Parks and Rec update earlier, he was also there being our open space forester. It was good to have him be a part of that conversation and have him putting his 2 cents in. So lastly is the Colorado Insurance Commissioner is going to be in Durango on October 9th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the rec center. So we always talk about the intersection between housing and wildfire management and that sort of thing. So not being able to get home insurance for some folks, kind of a lot of overlap in a lot of different areas. So anyways, sounds like they're going to be here on October 9th. So hopefully get them in the room and ask some questions that we're all, high of mind. So.
I attended a Region 9 meeting on September 26th. Region 9 and the Southwest Colorado Council of Governments. One item was the board member elections. The terms are 2 years and they expire in January. I'm up for renewal on that board, and I basically indicated that since council typically appoints liaisons in April, May, that my term can continue in January till April, May, or unless we appoint someone else at that point in time, based on the actual city council at that point. And that I would bring us up during the next city council meeting, hence done by this. And if there's any change, I will communicate to Region 9. And the remainder of the meeting, that was just a small part, but it's important for council, I guess. We discussed finances, the loans that they have to businesses and so on. Regional broadband is typically a topic in updates on transportation and housing projects. That's it.
I had attended, as I discussed in the study session, the Airport Commission meeting. Really interesting meeting. Very, very thoughtful discussion around the airline ticket fees. I just want to commend the board. I think that they're doing an excellent job asking just very detailed and thorough questions. There's so much going on at the airport with all the terminal expansion. Terminal expansions going on, the different phased projects. But their discussion around the airport rate increases for 2025 it was really good discussion based on also the fact that we are well below all the other comparable airports around in Colorado, around our size. And these fees help us fund our capital infrastructure projects as well. And we do have 33 million in other capital projects that have been identified for fiscal year 2025 through 29, including airfield infrastructure, terminal infrastructure, and landside infrastructure. So really good discussions. I just wanted to report on that, but very thoughtful and really good questions asked. And I think I completely agreed with where they ended.
Attended the La Plata Economic Forum, and I found that very educational. So I was glad I went to that, and that's pretty much all I had on my schedule. But tomorrow I have my office hours from noon to 1 at the library if anybody would like to come down.
I had a few things. On the 18th, I did a walk and roll around Rusa neighborhood. I had a bunch of citizens come out and chat with me about lots of, specifically the Rusa redesign and where that project is. And I haven't gotten an update on that. I don't know if we've gotten an update on that recently, where we're at, what we're doing, but don't need it this very second. Totally fine. Just was a great conversation. So maybe on the next update, you can just include that in there. That would be cool, because lots of residents there. And I do bike there, like to work every day, and like run on that river trail. So that was interesting. Everyone loves pickleball courts. We walked from like the skate park area down to the pickleball courts, chatted, and then walked back. Had some discussion about homeless and the bathrooms down there, which was great. And I know that's TBD because it got reappropriated for next year in the mid-year appropriations, I think. And then what else did we talk about? Vision Zero, more bike walkable community, how Next Steps actually we're taking away some of the, by like editing the next steps and like the design and keeping the lanes the same size, we're taking away from some of the walkability and safety that some other constituents were hoping to have. So it's an interesting dynamic and push and pull. And there's like so many, every decision we make, it's just a reminder that there's so many different points of view on it, which is great. Went to the Alliance Summit on the 19th, People, Place, Purpose, great speakers, super inspirational. I took all my staff from one of my businesses, and so that was great. Good bonding. I thought they did a great job. They always do. On the 24th, I went to the Engage Durango Next Steps presentation. Devin and did a great job presenting about, it was similar to what we had today in our update, not quite as much, but similar. People seemed receptive. There was talk about why it, like different things, ballot initiatives potentially, but a big focus was that it's on pause until City Hall and PD get going. On that same day, I went and did a joint proclamation with the county for cowboy poetry. When I did the proclamation here and it was a joint proclamation, I was like, wait, we're missing part of the joint. So I went to this county meeting and did the proclamation with Matt and the county for cowboy poetry, which is this weekend. So if you guys are around town this weekend, take part in some of the events. I know they're doing a big shindig on Saturday downtown with horses on Main and all the things. So it should be a good time. Also on the 24th, I spoke at the literacy luncheon for the Durango Adult Education Center, what an amazing program that is, and full of great teachers and leaders in our community doing amazing things. So big fan. My sister was a GED graduate as well, and then so a big supporter here for programs like that. Yeah, I think that was what the main things I had going on. Reminder, there's a groundbreaking ceremony for Phase 1B at the airport tomorrow. I have an Alliance board meeting tomorrow, and then cowboy poetry this weekend. So there you go. Okay, moving on. Public comment on action items only, item 7.
Mayor, there is nobody signed up for agenda-related items on
Okay, great.
7.
Moving along, the consent agenda, item 8. Can we have a reading of the consent agenda?
Thank you. For item 8, the consent agenda reads as follows. 8.1, approval of meeting minutes. Approval of minutes for September 4th, 2024, City Council regular meeting, September 27th, 2024, City Council special meeting, and September 17th, 2024, City Council regular meeting. 8.2, final reading of ordinances, no items. 8.3, adoption of resolutions by consent, no items. 8.4, approval of other administrative items. 8.4.1, approval of a new hotel restaurant liquor license for the Wild Abandoned LLC, doing business as the Tangled Horn at 275 East 8th Avenue. 8.4.2, approval and placement of applicants to the Mayor's Youth Advisory Commission. And 8.4.3, approval of boards and commission manual updates. And Mayor and Council, if you'll please take note that the City Clerk's office has removed this item from the consent agenda because the red line version of the boards and commissions manual failed to be included in the agenda packet for today. So to allow council and the public adequate time to review, we're asking that this be rescheduled for the meeting on October 15th, please.
If I may, Mayor and Council, maybe that's just one to pull and then just table to the next council meeting, just so that we have that council action with it.
Perfect. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
The removal.
Sorry, as presented with the exception of 8.4.3 to remove from the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Great. Council discussion? And roll call.
Counselor Woodruff,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Yazzie,
Yes.
Counselor Bosman's,
Yes.
Mayor Buell,
Yes.
and Counselor Youssef.
Yes.
All right, item 9, items pulled from the consent agenda. We have 8.4.3, approval of boards and commissions manual updates.
I move to table 8.4.3 to the next city council meeting on October 15th.
Second.
Great. Council discussion? Can I get a vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Yazzie,
Yes.
Counselor Youssef,
Yes.
Counselor Woodruff,
Yes.
Counselor Bosman's,
Yes.
and Mayor Buell.
Yes. Item 10, public hearings. There are no public hearings. Item 11, resolutions. Item 11.1, a resolution to appoint applicants to various boards and commissions. City Clerk's office.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Shanna Beck, Deputy Clerk Records. The city relies on various boards and commissions to promote effective governance and ensure that our community's diverse voices are represented in decision-making. And currently, we have 14 active boards and commissions, 6 of which have vacancies that need to be filled. If council has completed interviews for the recent applications, we're recommending that you go ahead and proceed with appointments for qualified candidates to fill these positions. As it stands, we currently have enough candidates to fill the positions for the Board of Ethics. There were 5 vacancies and 6 applicants, as well as a Community Development Commission, which had 1 vacancy and 2 applicants. And additionally, several other boards and commissions have not received any applications whatsoever. So since the application window has closed, the clerk's office is seeking guidance from the council on how to move forward with these vacancies and whether you'd like our office to reopen the application process. And if the interview teams would like to make any recommendations to council for appointees, please take this opportunity to do so.
Great. Do you want to start?
Yeah, just maybe a clarification. Which boards are in need of potential reopening of the application process?
Sure. So the Community and Cultural Relations Committee, they have 7 vacancies with only 4 applicants. The Financial Advisory Board has 1 vacancy, no applicants. Retirement Plan Board, 2 vacancies, no applicants. And the Election Commission has 1 vacancy with no applicants.
Yeah, I move to reopen the application process for the Financial Advisory Board, the Retirement Board. I forget them all.
The boards with the vacancies.
Yeah, with vacancies, just to reopen that application process to be open for another, do you have a recommendation for 30 days?
We usually do 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Whatever
Whatever you
the,
traditionally do, I thought it was 3 weeks, but
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
we
have,
need to do 4
we'll have
weeks
to
this
con-
time.
sure. We'll consult with Faye, or do we want to go at 3 weeks?
It's up to the council.
I'd probably do
So
4 weeks. If
I would-
there's a suggestion from staff, I would say 4 weeks, the more time, the better.
So may I amend my motion? So I make a motion to reopen the application process for the commissions and boards that are still in need of applicants and positions filled for the period of 4 weeks.
I'll second. Council discussion? I would just like to say if there's, maybe we can look at our advertising. I know we have a specific way we advertise that we've always advertised, but if there's maybe some fun social media ways we can do, stories we can tell of people that are serving on boards and commissions and how fulfilling it is for our community, something to that effect, I think that would be awesome to get people. It is fulfilling. Yes. Okay, great. That's all. Anyone else want to say something? Okay, can I have a vote?
Counselor Bosman's,
Yes.
Mayor Buell,
Yes.
Counselor Woodruff,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Yazi,
Yes.
and Counselor Youssef.
Yes.
All right, and then we have interviews were done today. Do you guys want to make your motion?
Yeah, Councilor Yazzie and I, or Mayor Pro Tem Yazzie and I, had the distinct pleasure of having two interviews this morning for one position for the Community Development Commission. It is by recommendation from our committee, our interview committee to appoint Sarah Schwartz to the board as a full-time board member, and then have Blake Frederickson be appointed as an alternate for said commission.
I'll second. Council discussion?
Just a question. Oh, so this is there's one vacancy for this position?
CDC.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
All right, can I get a vote?
Mayor Buell,
Yes.
Counselor Youssef,
Yes.
Counselor Bosman's,
Yes.
Counselor Woodruff,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Yazi.
Yes.
All right, I'm sitting on two of the interview committees. One of them is the Community and Cultural Relations Commission with you, so sorry, Dave and Clancy, you're gonna be on that one. We're doing interviews for that next week, so we'll put that one back on the next council agenda for appointment, if that's okay.
Great.
I know we're gonna reopen it because we didn't get enough applicants, but we're interviewing the ones we have. For the Board of Ethics, I sat on that one with Mayor Pro Tem Yazi and Jay Egan. We are going to recommend, we had 6 applicants, which is great. We're going to recommend, due to the high turnover in the Board of Ethics, that we appoint Andrew Dennison, Charles Elias, Michael Kaiser, Megan Roberts, with alternates of Christian Biddle and alternate of Anne Marie Swan.
And before that motion hits the floor, just a couple things to clarify. You do have one member of the Board of Ethics who would be a holdover. So there's actually 4 vacancies because there is a holdover.
Yes.
That's Mr. Egan. I think the clerk had said there were 5 vacancies. I would recommend that you do allow that to go forward with a holdover to have some continuity between the former board, which mostly resigned, and the one person that's left. And there is a pending matter in front of the Board of Ethics. So I've counseled with Counselor Youssef and advised her not to participate in the vote to appoint the new members.
Perfect. And yes, so I just listed 4 for the appointees, and then the 5th would be Jay Egan, who would roll over, and then the 2 alternates, Christian Biddle and Anne Marie Swan, for when Jay does leave after this pending matter is done. He'll leave. One of them will become on board as a regular member, and we'll have 1 alternate. So we feel like that's the best path forward. So that's my motion. I said it right? Do
Yeah.
I need to say it? Okay.
A second?
Council discussion?
Yeah, I'm going to make a comment here. First, I appreciate all the applicants and also the willingness to serve on these boards. Um, I have concerns with the Board of Ethics. All the previous members of the Board of Ethics have either resigned or their terms expired, with the exception of Jay Egan, who's on holdover. I believe the intentions for this board were good, but that this board has also been used for political purposes to harass and undermine individuals. And I have certainly observed that rules have not been applied the same for different cases. So a very inconsistent application of the code of conduct and the code of ethics and rulings. I expect that we spent well over $100,000 over the past years on ethics complaints and legal cases, especially if you include staff time and outside attorneys. And we have lost legal cases or somehow settled them. And instead of apologizing, we continue to harass individuals. I personally think we really should be moving forward and improve the system and process. I happen to believe in a court case and an actual judge making a ruling means something. And maybe we are doing something wrong. And equally important, I believe most, if not all, complaints and legal cases over the past years could have and should have been prevented. Unfortunately, it seems the media, newspapers and so on, do not report this very clearly. And I think the future of the Board of Ethics is uncertain, especially since I understand the State of Colorado's Independent Ethics Commission is reviewing a case involving Councillor Youssef, and that may have consequences for the Board of Ethics. I'm not very familiar with the details, and I will follow up how this develops, but I think I will not support moving forward with this Board of Ethics, especially with the members that have been suggested.
Any other council discussion? The point you bring up, Councillor Bosman's, about the cost is interesting because I believe you filed 2 or 3 Board of Ethics complaints against fellow councilors, and the time that maybe it took to file open records requests against other councilors all definitely come into play. And I think it's super important that we have a board full of highly qualified applicants like the one we have to make sure that we are held accountable and that we maintain our high integrity. So can I get a vote?
Yes.
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 No.
All right, item 12, first consideration of ordinances, no items. Item 13, public comment on city matters not scheduled for a vote tonight.
There are no public comments on city matters not scheduled for a vote tonight.
Did you want to speak? Okay. Did you sign up at the? Okay. Can I okay.
I move to suspend the rules to allow somebody who has not signed up for public comment to come up and approach the dais for public comment.
Yeah, I will, as soon as, should I get a second on
Second.
that? And then a vote, and then we'll play the tape? Okay, great. Council discussion? And can I get a vote?
Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Yazzie,
Yes.
Councillor Woodruff,
Yes.
Councillor Youssef,
Yes.
Councillor Bosman's,
Yes.
and Mayor Beal.
Yes, and then we'll play the tape, and then we'll invite you in just a second. Yeah, just wait.
Public comment is encouraged on city-related matters, even if they are not set for a vote by the council on tonight's agenda. Please begin your comments by stating your city-related topic, your full name, and if you are a resident of the city of Durango. Make your comments directly to the council. Do not expect a response from the council or staff. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person unless modified by council. Unused time is not transferable to other speakers. Comments must be specific to city matters. Profanity, hate speech, personally derogatory remarks, or other speech that is disruptive to the meeting will be ruled out of order by the chair, and any remaining time will be forfeited by the speaker. Exceeding the time limit infringes on the rights of others and is out of order. Only a majority vote of the council can modify time limits. Please note, you must sign up prior to the mayor calling the item on the agenda. Signing up after the item is called will result in your name not being called to speak.
Right. You want to come up, state your name, and if you're a city resident, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you, and I apologize for not signing up. Buck Skillen, 776 Animas View Drive, resident of Durango. Counselors, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm going to speak on behalf of the Five Rivers chapter of Trout Unlimited, the fishing community in Durango and surrounding areas, and Animas River lovers in general. The Animas below the confluence of Lightner Creek, as you know, is gold medal designated water. Also, we've got Smelter Rapids there, a major tourist draw, and I think we can all agree the Animas is a crown jewel of Durango. Now, when storms drop a lot of water on Perrins Peak, an area of heavy sediment loads into Lightner Creek, and this flows into the Animas River. We need to address this pressing issue of sediment loading in Lightner Creek. Two major sources of this sediment by virtue of a report done by Basin Hydrology several years ago are Perrins Canyon and the top of the Tech Center. Sediment capture basin at the bottom of Perrins Canyon serves to collect some of the sediment, as I call it, the sediment capture basin. However, it needs to be cleaned out periodically. It was cleaned out after much haranguing by me, probably a month or two ago, a couple of months ago. And I have emphasized to Public Works, who have been very receptive to my comments, that it needs to be cleaned out each time it fills up. It has filled up. I have a photo available if you'd like to see it. I don't have it queued up, obviously. I've been told there's no funding to clean it out. Unfortunately, stormwater is funded through the general fund. It needs to have its own funding. And I am under the impression that that's being worked on as we speak. We also need to clean out that sediment capture basin sooner rather than later. We can expect more rain before the snow flies. And if it's not cleaned out, all the sediment that comes out of Perrins Canyon is going to go right straight into the Animas River. And that's the sum total of my comments tonight. I will mention to you that I'll be back to talk about a need for a sediment capture basin at the top of the Tech Center. I have met with Bob Lowry, Joy Medina, and Jenny Nikovich. They've been very receptive to our concerns. There's a lot of money available, grant money through the NRD, as well as our Five Rivers chapter is willing to put some money up. We just want to partner with the city on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that didn't get a chance to sign up that would like to talk? Okay, great. Other new business, 14.1, a resolution providing direction to city staff to provide a proposed list of revisions to the policy process, Resolution R-2022-0027, with the goal of allowing the city council to support or oppose legislation more effectively, submitted by Councilor Woodruff. As a reminder, this would be just for council limited discussion to put it on the next agenda to discuss it. So, Councilor Woodruff.
Yeah, just a quick brief history. My understanding is that there's a resolution passed with the previous council that required any sort of city council support for a state or federal legislative issue that we would need both sides presented in order for us to be able to have any sort of say of whether we supported or opposed it. I think, you know, especially when we have some issues that are coming up that would be easy to support, like the Gold King Mine Spill Compensation Act that's being potentially floated through the feds right now. It allows us a much shorter time window to really show support for that. So I think this is a little overly restrictive and giving us the time frame that I think we need for some of these issues. And so I would like us to look at potentially repealing this resolution moving forward to have both sides be offered when taking a support position.
Excellent. I'll make a motion to put on the next agenda a resolution providing direction to city staff to provide a proposed list of revisions to the policy process, Resolution R-2022-0027, with the goal of allowing the city council to support or oppose legislation more effectively.
Second?
Council discussion. I think, oh, go ahead.
Are we sure we can discuss now?
Well, just like brief. Remember, we're not discussing this whole thing because it's
Okay,
going
then
on the
I'll save
agenda.
it for next.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else? Can I get a vote?
Counselor Woodruff,
Yes.
Mayor Buell,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Yazi,
No,
Counselor Youssef,
Yes.
Counselor Bosman's.
Yes.
All right. Any other new business? Perfect. Next item, 15, adjournment. Do I have, all in favor of adjournment?
I
Great.
Aye.
See you next time.